What's going on, people, and welcome to a brand new episode of Too Many Games and Not Enough Time. I'm your host with the most, the one and only Mr. Midas. Now, in Too Many Games, I get to sit down and talk to gamers across the globe about our passion, our love. Yes, that is video games. Now, in today's episode, I have a Twitch streamer and a YouTuber. You can catch her out there in your favorite FPS, catching them dubs. Fam, sometimes when she streams, she gets so passionate, she might get confused and think the video game character's parents are her own parents. That's how much she gets in. The one and only Skye, aka Lil Piglet. Welcome to Too Many Games and Not Enough Time.
What's goody? What's goody? It's a pleasure to be on. You're not wrong. I get a bit invested, but I can't help it. I just love games. I can't help it at all.
That's a good thing, man. That shows the passion. So let's get straight into it, man. It's been a crazy couple of years, and as a gamer, we're lucky enough to actually have something that a passion that we can kind of push our mindset into. Has there been any games that have really helped you like invest your mindset and your mental well-being during COVID?
Honestly, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but Apex Legends kind of, I don't know, it gave me something to latch onto during that time. So I played it a little bit before like COVID and stuff, but definitely during the pandemic and everyone was inside, that's the game I got attached to. Like, people might expect me to say COD because that's where my roots are, but Apex was something different. Like, I didn't really play Battle Royales before that. I was a bit apprehensive, but I got sucked in, and then the 2 years passed like nothing. Honestly, I didn't even notice it.
It's mad because I am not the shooter guy at all. Like, I'm all about story, I'm all about narrative, but I did some sponsored content for EA for Apex on the Switch.
I saw.
And then I was playing it, and then I just got drawn in, and then I just started playing it on the PlayStation 5, and I was banging it like literally probably close to every single day, just out there trying to get them like dubs. And I'm the same. I'm not the Battle Royale. I'm not even a shooter guy, but I was just sucked in. What is it about Apex that you just love?
There's a lot going on. Like, some shooters are very linear, like it's just the same thing over and over again. But with Apex, this is why I feel like new people can come in. People who haven't played FPS at all can come in and enjoy it, because you have the characters are so diverse. Number one, like, I feel like they're kind of taking a leaf out of Valorant's book a little bit that way, which is another reason why that game's got popular. But you can kind of see yourself in at least one character, which isn't initially like an attraction. Obviously, the abilities, the different weapons, the maps are beautiful, they're huge. It's chaotic. Like, some people have to say it's too chaotic, but I feel like that's why it's interesting, because I feel like every game something different can happen.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, that good chaotic is proper fun. And like, the first thing that I loved about Apex, even before I even started playing it, is the diversity, is seeing black characters, is seeing people who look like you, not sound like you, because the voiceovers are dead, but
let's not talk about that.
But look like you, and it's so dope. And do you know what I really, really love about it more than anything is when it comes to games like COD, not so much Warzone, but when it comes to like COD multiplayer, when people get too used to it, when you're a newbie, you just get smoked. Literally, people know all the spawn points, so you're just getting in, you just get smoked, and you just get frustrated. Where I see pros get murked in Apex as well as standard people. So I think it's a good and easy enough game for someone that's like new to get into it.
Yeah, because you can literally play exactly how you want. I feel like it lets you do what you want to do. Like other FPS games, you have to learn the status quo. Like, there's like a set of rules that you have to follow basically for you to be good. Apex, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can use whatever gun you want. You can be who you want. Your playstyle can be different. Like, it can reward you no matter like what type of player you are. So that's why I feel like it's interesting to a diverse amount of people, because it's like, you don't have to follow any pattern or any type of player. You could actually literally just be who you are as an FPS player, and you'll see some success. Like, you'll take out some top predators just chilling with a sniper. Do you know what I mean? If that's how you like to play.
Predators, you know, don't crack me up. You
Listen,
are.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Anything can happen on that game, honestly.
I love it. So obviously you are a Twitch streamer, and I was cracking joke obviously in the intro about
Yes,
you
sir.
really getting into games, and we're talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Other than like games like Apex, what games do you really like to kind of invest in and play with your community?
So I started something called Variety Fridays literally for this reason, so we can start playing different types of games. So at the moment, Horizon has me by the throat. It has me in a headlock. It has me up at night thinking about it. That game is like the epitome of what I love from story-based games, because I've played the Uncharted, the Heavy Rains, the Last of Us. I am actually that gamer. I love FPS, but people don't really know I'm about story game modes. So Horizon came out, and I can't lie, it kind of went under my radar. Like I didn't really hear that much about it. So I've played it like a year later. I'm still playing it now. I'm only halfway through it, but it is an incredible game, and the way I can connect with my community as well, different. It's so different to when you play like multiplayer games and stuff like that. It's the interaction's there, but it's not the same. I feel like these types of games bring out my personality even more, and then my chat, we can like certain things will happen, and me and my chat are losing our minds like in real time, just watching it. Like it's a movie, but obviously we're playing through it together. So that feeling is honestly irreplaceable for me. Like I don't think I could ever go back to just playing FPS games solely. I need that.
That's dope, man.
Well.
That's proper sick. And Horizon is mad because even though Horizon is that kind of story game, the mechanics, like it's made by the makers of Killzone. So prior to that, all that they was making was shooters. So they understand the whole dynamics of getting shooting right and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like Guerrilla Games, like incredible studio.
Yeah, they're a great studio. Yeah.
Horizon for me, I always say, reminds me of the kind of game you'd make up as a kid. You'd be like, oh my God, so like there's dinosaurs, but they're robots, and you shoot off their parts, and you pick it up, and you use it against them. And anyone would look at that kid like, fam, what are you on? But it just works so seamless. And I really like Aloy as a protagonist. I feel like she's really stepped into like the PlayStation library proper quickly. And I feel like she stands as tall as Kratos and Nathan Drake and all of them people. And she's only had one game.
Literally, I feel like they got her personality so correct. And it's funny, I was talking to my chat about this literally yesterday. Her reactions to that, like dialogue in that game, is incredible. Like it's so realistic. It's not like your normal NPCs and your copy and paste like missions. The way she reacts to certain people, I'll be sitting there like, you better kiss your teeth, you better get in their face, and she goes and does it, and I'm like, they put this in there, like they made a character like this, and she's still, of course, you know, her own person, but I can see little things like of me in her, which doesn't happen often when you're like playing a game like that. It's very futuristic, it's very different. Obviously it's incredible, it's unrealistic but realistic at the same time. So her as a character, she's in my top 3 easily now, up there with Clementine from The Walking Dead. She's already shot to like my top 3.
And it's mad, just even hearing you talking about her, I can see the passion and excitement. And a lot of people are just like, why do people always complain about they want characters who look like them and stuff like that? But it's that passion, is that being able to see characteristics and identify things within yourself that kind of relate to that person. And that's the amazing thing about gaming. So you must be super excited for Horizon Forbidden West.
Listen, I was watching the little trailer that they put out, and some of the gameplay, I was screaming. I was literally like, everything I love about the first one is in the second one, but more. Like any like qualms I might have had about certain mechanics, like I can't lie, when she's climbing and she doesn't climb in a certain ledge, I get irritated. But then just seeing like it does, it's not great. I've definitely had a rage moment or two where I've died and I'm like, nah, that wouldn't happen in Uncharted. But watching like the trailer and gameplay from the second one, the fact that she's got a grapple, it's like they listen. Like I feel like they know exactly what the community wants, and even though it was already an incredible game, they've upped the levels. So anything that you might have been irritated before, they've been like, yeah, bet we've got that covered. You're good. And the graphics just blew my mind.
That underwater scene, man.
Incredible.
What game are you really looking forward to next? What is the next big announcement other than
Over
Horizon?
the Horizon, because yeah, that's been running my mind.
Yeah, what's the next thing that you're really wanting to sink your teeth into?
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even think it's been announced. But I'm a really big Kingdom Hearts fan, and even though I know Kingdom Hearts 3 is still, I guess you could say, relatively new, that franchise means a lot to me. So I've seen other games out there, they're kind of saying they're coming out and stuff, and I've been like, all right, cool, that looks good. Like God of War, for example, of course, that franchise is incredible. I will be playing that. But I'm looking out for a Kingdom Hearts game that's actually gonna kind of seal the whole storyline together, because Kingdom Hearts 3 was good, but the story I wasn't as impressed with, and I feel like they need to go back to like kind of their roots where they came from before. So that's what I want to see. Like, it doesn't even need to be announced. I'm looking for that game. That's the game I want to come out and blow me away.
I'm always busting joke with Timmy from the Nerd Council. Yeah. I don't know what the hell Kingdom Hearts story is about. That stuff is convoluted as hell. It makes no sense to me. Like, I don't get why Donald and Mickey's rolling with his brother. I don't understand why Sephiroth and Cloud's in it. Like, it don't make no sense to me. And I missed the 1 and 2 because I think I'm a little older. I started, my first RPG was Final Fantasy. So then so after you play Final Fantasy, I saw Donald and them man there. I'm like, nah, man, I can't play no Donald RPG. That's dead. That's some kiddie game. And then I played 3 and I just didn't get what was going on. So I never finished. And then I went back and tried to play 1. And I was like, what is this thing? Like, I was baffled. Like, it was nice.
Yeah, I agree.
And stuff, but I was just like, fam, I don't get it.
I definitely agree. Like, me and my brother, we had a whole 2-hour session. We watched YouTube videos to actually understand the story, because it was that deep. We've played all of them, apart from the ones that obviously like on PSP and stuff. And I feel like that's where they went wrong. They brought out a lot of games that were canon, like had canon story, and it wasn't on the main consoles. Like, but because of Final Fantasy, because obviously the developer of Final Fantasy is also kind of was working on Kingdom Hearts as well, there's similarities that made me think there's a lot of potential with this game. And I feel like they need a bit of a break to stop just bringing out these games over and over and over again and kind of just giving what the mainstream community wants, and just take a step back, realize their roots. And I feel like if they do that, we're gonna see a Final Fantasy level game. Like, if we look past the gimmicks of Disney or whatever. Obviously, that's just to add a little something different. And I personally love that, because I love Disney. And then to put that in a game like Kingdom Hearts, I was like, yeah, that's calm with me. But the actual story is incredibly interesting. But unfortunately, you actually have to go and find out what it is rather than it coming to you. So I get why people are like 50-50 about the game.
And you know what? I say that, but a lot of people do the same thing when it comes to Final Fantasy VII. A lot of people get so baffled. They're like, what is who? Genova, what? This sells, and they get baffled, and they have to do that research anyway. So I don't want to be too ignorant in that statement.
No, but I understand that. If they want to be that game, they have to make it easier for people to understand it.
All right, Skye, so too many games, not enough time. There's bare games out there in the world. I want you to recommend to me and the audience a game that we should play, a game that means a lot to you. Now, we've already spoke about a couple games that really connect with you, but if there's a game that you think I should experience and the audience should experience, what game would you recommend and why?
The Walking Dead. I have to think about it. The Walking Dead is by far one of the best games I've played in the last maybe 5 years. And that thing is based off of a comic book. Like, the first 2 seasons of it are like comic book graphics, but obviously emotion as well. I asked people to look past that, because the emotional turmoil that put me through made me realize I want to be a streamer. Like, actually, not just a gamer. I want to play games and maybe broadcast what I'm playing. I want to be a streamer, because I've never felt that type of passion for a game that doesn't, like, oh, you can shoot. There's a couple scenarios where you shoot, but again, it doesn't require shooting. Like, I didn't know I could be that immersed in a game that was slowed down a little bit, and had a very humanitarian like aspect to it. So decision-making games, they put you on the edge. They actually reveal exactly who you are, what you think, where your morals lie, and how complicated life is, but in the form of a safe space, because you're playing a game. So there's no really real risks in life, and it lets your community get involved. You might want to do one thing, your community's like, no, don't do that. And you're like having to go back and forth. You might start a poll. It's it's the best game for me to stream, but also even if you play it by yourself, I feel like you will still get that aspect from it. It's just the storyline is amazing. Like if you've seen the actual series of Walking Dead, I actually feel like the storyline in the game is even better than it is in the actual TV series. It's amazing.
I think just so I haven't played all of The Walking Dead. I keep it a buck. Yeah. I've only done the first chapter of season 1.
No spoilers.
And Clementine is an incredible character, and I've always wanted to see where her journey's gone, and I've just got caught up in Fig. But I almost feel like that's like the top Telltale's ever done. Like I feel like they've never been able to create anything that feels that much to people, that people connect as much with the characters. Like obviously the new one, Clementine's a big woman now, and then she's doing her own adventure. So you know what, I'm gonna take you up on that. I just got an iPad Pro, so I've actually downloaded it and I've been pre-ing it, but I've been replaying OG Final Fantasy 7. But when I finish OG Final Fantasy 7, for you, I'm gonna go back into it, because it's something it's something that I feel like I've started on my gaming journey, and it's a missing part. Like there's certain games that you just have to play if you're going to be a gamer. You not even necessarily complete them, but like a Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, a Halo, Call of Duty. These are like flagship games. And I think if you, like us, call yourself a story gamer and say that you love narratives, I feel like The Walking Dead is just as important as The Last of Us. 100%. And a lot of people might disagree with me, but just because the gameplay in The Last of Us is 100 times more incredible than what's in The Walking Dead, that story, the way people react to it is mad.
I haven't experienced anything like it, and I love Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, like all of these decision-based story mode games. I love them. I've played them, but to play something so stripped back that doesn't have the fancy graphics, that it doesn't have all of the music that you expect when certain things are happening, and to love it as much as I do, I feel like it's the peak of its archetype. Like it's very underrated. It goes under the radar, but that's the one game I am confident to suggest to somebody, and I know you're gonna come back to me and say thank you. That's the one game I can say I don't see anyone coming to me and say I didn't like it, because you make it what you want it to be. Like
I think what you said was perfect. You basically strip it back to it just being an incredible piece of content. You're not getting gassed by graphics. You're not getting gassed by music. You're not getting gassed, even though that all of that works. But it's just about an amazing story and taking you on an amazing journey.
Exactly.
Skye, thank you so much for joining me on Too Many Games, man. It's really good to talk to you. If the people are feeling your energy, feeling your vibe, and they want to get involved, they want to know what's going on in Lil Piglet's world, where should they go?
So I stream 4 times a week on twitch.tv/Lil Piglet __1. So we play shooting games, we play story-based games, I play pretty much everything. So that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. You can catch me on Instagram. I upload little clips of me doing some skillful stuff on like Apex and stuff. So you catch me on Lil Piglet _1 on IG, and then Twitter if you want to see me chat some rubbish about general life stuff, like anime. I'm a big fan of anime, so find me on Simply Skye 16 on Twitter, and just catch up with me and catch a stream if you can.
Go and catch a stream. And that's it. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. You are the MVPs. Make sure you go and check out her stream. She's highly entertaining, and you can see she loves video games. I've been Mr. Midas. She's been Skye, aka Little Piglet, and we out of here. Peace.